Best case scenario, worst case scenario of
Right.
a Trump presidency. 8 years, 2024. What does the world look like? Best case.
Oh,
worst
I don't
case?
know. I think it's going to be complete chaos.
Really? Either way, like the best case even.
The best case scenario?
With 8 years of Donald Trump, and then
Is there a best case scenario?
best case scenario, worst case scenario of Donald Trump presidency?
Concentration camps, worst case scenario.
I really think concentration camps. Okay.
It's already talked about the mass deportation of whole ethnicities of people, and I'm not a fan of ethnic cleansing.
But to the people like living here, do you think he's gonna like round up the patriots and FEMA camps and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well,
The ground's been laid out. The ground's been laid out for someone to do that, and the power is set there for someone to, but no one's actually taken that, I don't know, authority yet.
But you think Hillary might do that, or you think Trump would do that if it was given between the choice between the two? Or you don't really.
But between the two, I think Trump would do it more, but I also am not a fan of Hillary Clinton.
Well, we've known Donald Trump for like 30, 40 years as kind of an American icon. Do you think he'd really just go psycho evil? We've known him as, head of The Apprentice. I mean, is he that? He can be kind of an authoritarian, maybe an egomaniac, but do you really think he would go to that level?
He's an American icon in the sense that he panders to the wealthiest. He's not really an American icon to the middle class, essentially. Maybe with some of his pop culture stuff, but he's never really been an American icon in terms of somebody that I would embrace politically.
The national debt keeps rolling. If that doesn't really tell you like what's going on, then I think you are blind. Right. The massive shift of like funds to like the 1% as it's called all the time, and I think
you're not optimistic about us paying off a $20 trillion debt.
Not at all. Like look at from when Bush got in, $20 trillion. It was $8 trillion at that point. Bush has doubled it. Now Barack doubled it again.
Yeah,
if you look
like
at it's 19 trillion. If you look at
just in that those spent 16 years.
If you look at compounding numbers, this cannot go on. We're being scammed. The Social Security is a Ponzi scheme, and our monetary system's a Ponzi scheme. So if Trump's going to turn that shit around, we're all for him.
The best case scenario that he loses by about 20-30%, and then the jokes start. And I want him to have that same look on his face that he had when he was in the presidential correspondence dinner with Obama. And Obama got on his case, that look on his face. I want him to look like that for the rest of his life.
Okay, you'd rather have Hillary then? If it came down to those two?
Well, I am a presidential candidate.
Right, we're to get to that.
I'm the major cop-out candidate.
Best case scenario and a worst case scenario of a Donald Trump presidency.
If he wins the presidency.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, people just going at each other,
Or red buttons?
Yeah, the red buttons, hate crimes going up, more protesting on the street, more
Do you think
violence.
it would be hate crime because of something he said, or would it be because of maybe ignorance, or is
Ignorance acting on those hateful words.
Okay, fair enough. So what would be the best case scenario? 8 years later,
Best case
2024.
scenario,
Yeah. What does the world look like?
everybody who was against him finally got to pull together and unite as one against just him.
Can we recall him? All right. Okay. All right, thank you for your time.
If Donald Trump becomes president and he continues to carry out the same New World Order, Bilderberg bullcrap, all of this, what's the name of that? This globalism contracts, then he's a sellout. Mr. Trump, we're gonna hold your feet to the fire. You hear me, Mr. Trump? When you get into office, you do what the American people want, to take back our country. And we're not getting that from Democrats and Republicans.
So worst case, we get locked up, we get thrown in concentration camp. What's the best case scenario? 2024, what do we look at?
Another George Bush.
Presidency ends.
Oh, okay, we're holding out hope for the Bernie Sanders. All right. Okay, well, thank you, gentlemen. What's the sign? What kind of message are you guys trying to share with everybody with the sign?
It's meant to invoke just critical thinking when it comes to a lot of what he says, draw similarities between the Nazis in the 1930s and a lot of what Donald Trump says today. I'm just flabbergasted that somebody hasn't like took away the microphone from him and said sorry about that. Doesn't mean what he says or whatever. I don't know. Just felt like we were further along than this.
Yeah, who knows? Or maybe we can. Do you think Donald Trump would run if the country was doing really well, or do you think Donald Trump is running to save it?
What do you mean by doing really well?
Like if the economy was great, we didn't have the big debt, we didn't have all the wars, none of this stuff, and if everything was thriving in a great paradise, the American dream was alive, do you think Donald Trump would run, or do you think he's trying to run because he wants to save America before we fall?
When you put it in context like that, I think you're referring to the country not being controlled by corporations and actually being controlled by the people. And I think when people use critical thought, I think they'll realize that he's not a good choice. So, no, I don't think he would be running. I don't think anybody would listen to him if the country was that ideal.
Okay, fair enough. All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
Best case scenario, once he gets in office, he does have a public address and basically tells us that everybody is bought and paid for, and I would think at that point his life would probably be in danger, but that's best case scenario, and people rally behind him for true change. Worst case scenario, he's a scamming bastard like he probably is, But I'm rooting for the guy, but don't really believe it till I see it,
Very good. Well said. I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Awesome, man.
All right. Thank you.
I mean, I just worry like none of the countries want to deal with Donald Trump. I mean, England had that, they were talking about.
Wait, no, they didn't. David Cameron wouldn't have, but now the new guard, the new people might want to work with him. I think Nigel Farage is scheduled to speak. So there could be a new axis, like back to World War
but
II,
just the fact
because
that
Russia, Putin likes Donald Trump, and then England being, getting out of the globalization, the trade deals.
Yeah.
So maybe those three, just like we had before.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
versus Hillary.
I know. I see what you're thinking, but at least with Hillary, I feel like there won't be the chaos that the Trump presidency will bring, But then under Hillary, the 1% will get even richer. That's what's going to happen with that. So, I protest against both candidates. I can't help it. I got to do it.
No, I respect that. We love the opinions. Anything else you want to plug? I love the costume. Is there anything you want a little message?
I mean, my one thing with my organization, Revolution is Sexy, is that, Revolution is Sexy. And so we help activists and political groups stage protests that get into the media, hence the costumes.
So, I don't have to.
All right, so let's hear your platform.
Okay.
All right.
We are going, because the 2% has a lot of money, right?
Stony again.
That's right, make it Stony again. According to that, I will dedicate 2 seeds per state. That will get the ball rolling. We already have 3 legal states. Let's get it going, get the people, let's make America Stony again, right? Now, what we're going to do with money, because some people have so much money, some people have so little, we're going to take all the money, turn it into $20 bills. Everybody gets $20. Everything costs $20. Everybody owes you $20. And for God's sakes, nobody's going to kill you over $20, especially when they owe you.
Wow.
How about this?
My mind is blown. All right.
A slower bullet. Yeah, who invented this thing? It goes faster than people can get out of the way with. They didn't invent cars that go
like Matrix bullet time.
That's right. That's right. I'm in that movie, by the way. Yes.
Oh, really?
That's right.
You did a cameo in that?
That's right. That's right. That's right. Still get residuals.
I just wanted to say that I've done a lot of interviews today, and Blake's interview really made me think. But I think it's great. I think it's great. So, I just really feel if ordinary people had more political power, the world would be a different place.